What up, YouTubers? This is Evan for continuing the Party Poker Bankroll Challenge. Today we're starting with $760 in the bankroll, and we're getting straight into the action because we got a lot of tables popping off. So, table 3, I got Ace King, raised up a limp pre-flop, gonna fire a C-bet, and on that particular turn, not really loving it. Don't think I'm gonna continue. Just gonna check and shut it down. So I've popped up like a million tables, well, 15 to be exact, but I'm gonna be honest with myself and recognize that that's probably too many tables for me to be playing, especially while I want to do live commentary and stuff. So I'm gonna drop the worst 3 and keep it to 12 tables. That I think I'll be able to manage. And that's something that I want to talk about in today's video is being honest with yourself in terms of your abilities and your comfort level and all that stuff. In poker, it's very easy to be overconfident. A lot of people think that they're God's gift to the game, whether they're spectacular players or terrible players. And, they try too hard, maybe really work hard to try to outplay their opponents and don't give their opponents enough credit, and just make a lot of mistakes due to overconfidence. And we have aces. And a true professional recognizes what their strengths are, recognizes what their weaknesses are, and don't simply focus on their strengths and play to their strengths. They also work on improving their weaknesses such that, they will have less weaknesses and ultimately be a more well-rounded player than those who simply recognize what they're good at, stick with that, but never, really develop and gain other strengths and become more well-rounded. I'm going to see bet on the larger side, blind versus blind with these aces. And on this turn, I like to keep betting. Not happy if I get raised. Motherfucker. Okay, well, 2 pairs pretty possible, but we are getting an okay price to try to trip up or counterfeit. And it's also somewhat possible we have the best hand. So I'll call, and that's one of them counterfeiting cards. So I'm gonna check raise all in if he bets. Leading out is also an option. Man, you trying to induce me? I guess 5-7's gonna have me beat. I don't expect him to have 7-10. So 6-6, 5-7 have me. I've got everything else. I'm all in. Got it, bro? Sick. Sick. Not the best way to kick off the video, but hey, shit happens. And we got ace-ace again. We'll give it a go. And there it's just like that same spot that we've seen in so many other videos, that when someone min-raises the turn after we've shown real aggression, they just have like a super fucking nutty hand. And, maybe we don't even peel the raise on the turn. Maybe we just say, alright, whatever, nice hand. Confident in our read that our opponent has us in really bad shape, and just let it go. But it's alright, we got a nice cushion for the bankroll, so we're not in too much trouble just yet. Here with 2 9s on table 3, I'm going to re-raise, take the lead in the hand, make my hand easier to play. And on this flop, I'm going to c-bet for value. And that is not the best turn. Check and hope for a check back. Wow, we're getting a lot of aces. Too bad it's not like full pot. Okay, bro. You got it. Nice hand. Peel a c-bet on table 2. I think he's going to be c-betting most of his range on that flop. And we can do some funky stuff on the turn. Try to rep real strong or something. Oh, nice. Action. It's a large bet. It really looks like he's trying to build this pot and get a lot of money in, so I'm not going to oblige. I'm just going to fold. And hopefully, with these aces on table 2, we can win the pot. Maybe he made top pair. Maybe we've just got him coolered. There are a lot of ways we could be in a good situation in this hand. He could also have total air and just try to barrel us off. So we'll just call and let him keep doing what he's doing. That's a good scare card for him to continue barreling. It's also a good card for him to beat us if he has king-queen. We'll bet small to induce and still allow us enough room to get all in on the river comfortably. Okay, call. King. Not nice party poker. Not nice. And this actually brings me to one of the main things I was going to talk about during this video anyway, which is that after a little hiatus of just spending a lot of time working on the site, working on the show, getting a lot of videos and content out there for you guys so that you can improve your game, I was really starting to miss playing. I honestly hadn't been able to play for like almost a month because I was just so busy pumping out like a video every day plus a show every day, and then like doing articles and shit on top of it. Like I'm just been like nose to the grindstone lately just to get that content out there because I want you guys to improve as quickly as possible. So I'd been missing the game a little bit, you know, playing at my normal limits. And on the weekend I decided, you know, I want to get back in there. I want to play some sessions. And well, I made a classic rookie mistake. And I was very, very impatient with my session. And any of those spots that came up where, you know, you could 3-bet or you could pass on it, I was taking the aggressive route. And I also wasn't giving a lot of my opponents credit for, you know, being good players. So I was making a lot more aggressive plays than I needed to in the attempts to outplay these solid regulars who, you know, they've been grinding nonstop for the past who knows how long. And they're flowing, they're in their rhythm, they're playing good, and they're comfortable. And I can't just come in there out of nowhere all rusty and try to just show these guys who's boss. So I played pretty fast and made some mistakes that cost me a couple stacks, which was no big deal. I've also just been getting coolered like crazy the last couple sessions I've played, set over set, aces versus kings, stuff like that, or aces versus kings and having the guy flop a king on me or turn a king, whatever. But where a lot of people would just chalk it up to running bad and be like, you know, like I just run so bad, this is absurd that I'm losing, I'm so much better than these guys. I acknowledge that part of my poor results the last couple of days have been from just poor play, being impatient and just forcing it, trying to make the action happen rather than letting the action come to me, which is something you just can't really do in poker. The game just has kind of a natural flow. Things happen the way they're supposed to, and spots will come up from time to time that are going to be profitable. But if you're trying to make every spot into a profitable spot, it's call one more and hope the river's not a diamond. But this week, that's just how it's going. Yeah, I'm folding now. All your hands that had one diamond in there that were continuing to bet got there, so I'm out. But yeah, if you're trying to make every spot into a profitable spot, you're just going to be putting yourself into way too many marginal spots. Also, your opponents are going to recognize what you're doing if they're the least bit observant, and they're going to see that you are way out of line. And when your opponents recognize that you're out of line, they're going to start making adjustments to trap you, to play back at you in spots where you're very unlikely to have it. And you're probably going to end up losing and wondering why. You got to understand is when you're playing against regulars, thinking players, they know what they're doing. They understand the rules of the game. They have a good strategy. And they're not just going to roll over and let you take the money just because you're implementing some strategies that you saw at Grip's poker training. Some of these guys have been watching videos themselves. Some of them have been doing a lot of study, and you have to give them respect for that. So that's the first thing. Be willing to give your opponents credit. I'm going to bet the 5-7 and hope that he has a king that it will call, and if he raises, guess he's got the backdoor flush, and I've got a fold. It's amazing how many people have been making hands lately. But that's going to happen. The game goes in swings. Sometimes you're going to run really well, and you're going to build up your bankroll really fast, and those times are going to be balanced out with times where you run bad and the bankroll goes down a little bit. It's all about mitigating the damages when you're running bad and pressing your edge to the maximum when you're running well. If you're playing with confidence, put in a lot of hands, put in that volume, continue to just grind away, and when you're feeling low on confidence, take a day off. Do some other activities that make you feel good about yourself, that rebuild your confidence, and then you'll come back to the table with a clear mind and a high comfort level and a high confidence level, which will lead to good results. I guess I should have two-barreled on table 3, but it's tough to multi-barrel on the ace-high boards when there's a good chance our opponent just has an ace that he's not going to fold. Although, if I was willing to fire 3, then it's a fine spot. It's just firing 2 that isn't really going to get the job done all that much. So yeah, definitely be willing to give your opponents credit, and likewise, that just builds on what I always talk about, which is table selection. Find games that have bad players where you know 100% that you're better than them, and you know that it's going to be easy to extract money and value from them. Don't just go to war with the strong regulars. It's just going to cause a lot of headaches and a lot of frustration. It's a good way to improve if you're trying to work on your skill, deal with uncomfortable situations so that you'll be more confident when you run into said situations in the future. But you should probably reserve that for times where you're playing well, ideally running well, and your confidence is high. Or the other option is you can play a lower limit and battle against the regulars where the money doesn't mean so much to you, so you won't feel bad about maybe blowing off a few buy-ins, and then you'll be comfortable getting into a lot of awkward spots because you feel like you're playing like with play money, kind of. I've got a spot going on one of the outer tables. I 3-bet ace king pre. I'm hoping he has king queen because I'm not really planning on folding this hand. If he has clubs, I can also get some value, although it's ace queen of clubs and ace jack of clubs, both of which may have raised the flop, so really just banking on him having king queen there and calling down the whole way. Most people don't like to fold in 3-bet pots when they hit top pair, so when you have top pair, top kicker, or an overpair, or anything that's stronger than either of those hands, you need to just take the bet line and make sure you get your maximum value. There's no need to get fancy. people understand pot control now, so they're going to be checking back a lot, and they're not just going to be betting when check two, which is what you need to be happening when you're trying to implement a fancy line. Okay. Other things I want to talk about that build on this concept, because there's nothing worse than sitting at the tables and playing bad, or running really bad and having your confidence get really shot, when like last time you played you felt like the fucking man. When you're a poker player that spends a lot of time studying, a lot of time reviewing stuff, and you're a strong player, you should feel confident when you play, and you should see good results when you play. That's just the bottom line. If you're working harder than your opponents, then you should be getting better results than them. So one thing that's important is staying on top of the game. One thing that got me just now when I hopped in on the weekend was that I hadn't played mid-stakes in a month, whereas these guys had been playing, like I said, lots and lots every day. What? So I have to shake the rust off when I get in there, and the best way to do that is probably to just take it slow and ease into it. So one of the biggest issues is that I think my ideal number of tables to play is 6 to 8. That's it. That's my number of tables. That's where I do best. But when I'm running really well and I feel like I'm playing well, I can get up to 12 tables. I find that I'm usually able to find 12 pretty soft games on the on-game network, and I feel really bad not sitting in a game if I know there's a fish there. I feel like, it's a total crime to let someone else take that sucker's money rather than me. So if there are 12 good games, I want to play 12 good games. If there are 15 good games, I want to play 15 good games. Not to say that there's anything wrong with that, because when I'm on top of my game and I'm feeling confident, I can easily manage 12 tables. But being rusty and having not played in a while, and then instantly jumping in and trying a 12 table, was just a recipe for disaster. I wasn't up to speed with the flow of how quickly I was going to have to be making decisions. There were some decisions that weren't as automatic the last couple sessions as they had been previous sessions. So I really just kind of rushed into it and kind of dug my own grave, per se. And the move to do would have just been start with 6 tables, play a couple sessions, do well, then bump it up to 8 tables, play again, try to do well, and one sec, I just gotta do a value bet on one of the outer tables. It's not an exciting hand, I promise. You're not missing anything. And then work my way back up to where I was when I was playing. I got cooler again. Queen 8 versus Ace 8 on Ace 8 Queen. 2 pair, no good. We didn't play a huge pot though. It's not like we played for stacks, so I'm okay with it. But just because something worked before doesn't mean it's going to work now. If the games have changed, your style's going to have to change a little bit. If the players who are in the game are different, your counter strategies for playing against them are going to have to be different. If you don't have the same kind of energy or focus that you once had, then you're probably going to want to play fewer tables. There are a lot of adjustments that can be made to yield the same results or better results than you previously had. But you have to be honest with yourself about what the situation is and then make the adjustments, the appropriate adjustments. It's not enough, if you keep doing the same things, if you follow the same process, you can expect to get the same results. if all else stays the same. If, however, the game changes and you don't change, your results are not going to get any better. And if the game's changing and you aren't keeping up and you're just following your old habits, you're going to either win less or you might even start losing. Call here. And the biggest thing is if you see that what you were doing before wasn't working, or say, you always play the same style, and you realize there's a lot of information out there that you can grasp and start implementing in your game, but you don't implement it, then you're not going to see any improvements in your results. I know a lot of people who are like, well, I played like 30,000 hands this month, so I got to get better. Or I played 50,000 hands this month, so I should definitely be making money. If you aren't spending the time studying your hands, reviewing them, looking for where your leaks are, and then working on plugging those leaks, if you're a break-even player before, you're going to stay a break-even player. If you're a losing player before, you're going to remain a losing player. You have to find those leaks, plug them, change the game so that you are fully well-rounded, dangerous, aggressive individual at the tables. It's that simple. If you're not willing to put in any hard work, don't expect to have great results. You know how they say when it comes to working out, man, everyone's just shitting on me. When it comes to working out, they say no pain, no gain. Well, the same applies to poker. If you're not willing to put in those hours and that sweat on studying and developing your game and your strategies, then you're not going to see any progress. You're not going to get any better. It's not something that just magically happens. You don't wake up one day and become a poker superstar. Hard work pays off. So for me, what that means is, oh my God. Well, it's probably a trap, but I'm not folding. I flop top pair, second kicker. This guy limp min re-raised me, blind versus blind, and now he's betting full pot. It's just like, you got aces. You got aces. You got aces. Ace queen. Sick, sick. Why can't the king come? Why does the queen come? Man, I'm gonna have to play some MTTs to recover from this little cash game downswing. But yeah, what it means for me is that I'm gonna spend some time working with my good poker friends. I know Rich and Greggy have both been doing pretty well in the games, so I'm just going to spend some time, watching them, reviewing hands with them, having them sweat me, go through my database and stuff, see where I'm making mistakes so that I can stop making those mistakes and start having a good win rate again. Because I love the game, and I just couldn't stand to not be able to just crush, And a good chunk of it's running bad. I've also been playing short sessions, and to expect to have great results when putting in very few hands is a bit unreasonable. So I also probably need to put in longer sessions to ride out the variance. But I also just want to make sure that I'm making no mistakes. And when playing too many tables, man, it's easy to make mistakes because you have 2 seconds for every decision. You're like, what do I do? What do I do? Just got to click a button. Just got to make a decision. I'll probably play less tables the next session I play. But, yeah. What can you guys do? Keep watching the videos. Learn from my strengths. Learn from my weaknesses. Identify the same things in your game. Watch the coaching sessions. Look at this, just fucking aces everywhere. See what other styles people are playing. See what their strengths are, what their weaknesses. Critique other people's play. Constructively criticize your friends. Look at hand histories together. Think about the game. Put in work away from the tables. That probably about sums it up. Basically what you need to do is stay on top of the game and stay on top of your game. All the the little things help, and I guarantee you that most of the players at these limits are not working that hard. So if you're putting in the time and effort, you are going to surpass them. It's going to be very easy. So here with the aces, I flatted pre-flop, just because this guy's really loose. So I thought he was going to fold to my 3-bet a bunch, and I wanted to give him a chance to like make top pair with a shitty hand or something. He's check calling. I think he has a weak over pair rather than a 10. But yeah, okay, cool. I don't mean to say a weak over pair, just weaker than our aces. This guy's pretty tight on the button. Great hand to 3-bet, but the big blind's also really aggro, so I might get cold 4-bets. So just looking ahead, I'd rather just pass on that spot. Even though it's a spot where I could 3-bet, doesn't mean I have to 3-bet. When you're playing short sessions and you're playing impatient, you're going to try to get in every spot. You're going to take that Jack-10 suited and 3-bet it every fucking time. But if someone knows that you're doing that, they're just going to 4-bet you a bunch, or they're going to flat you and raise you on flops, and they're going to piss you off. And then if you start getting shit on a lot, you might get tilted, and then you might start playing bad, and then it's just the worst. So got to be really careful with that stuff. And that's why it's very important to work on your state of mind. Being in the right mind state for playing. And this is something I've written an article on before. And you can find it on the blog in the strategy section. But the main thing is, if you have any emotional stuff going on outside of poker that's got you riled up, you should not be playing poker. Poker is a high intensity thing, a lot of pressure. You're dealing with money, you're going to be dealing with stress. And if you're already under stress, you're probably going to be making the wrong decisions. So it's very important to come in with a calm, cool state of mind, clean slate before you play if you want to see your best results. And, you know, whatever that means for you is what you got to do. Maybe it means you go for a little 15-minute walk before you play. Maybe it means you watch your favorite show before you play. Maybe it means you throw on a Grips video before you play. Maybe it means you talk to a buddy before you play. Maybe it means you read a book before you play, you meditate before you play, work out, do anything. There are so many things you can do, but only you will know what the thing is that works for you. And what's important is to just do that before you play to get yourself in the zone. Maybe it's a certain playlist you like to listen to. But find out what it is, find out what works, and then stick with it. I'm going to check back to and do some bluffs from this fucking nit. He's so fucking tight. You won't give me any action if I guess he's not giving me action anyway. Fire a bat. And yeah, just stick with that, because that's what's going to work. And likewise, when you notice that you're starting to slip away from your A game, quit. Don't keep playing when you slipped off your A game, because it's just going to be too hard to make the money back if you make any mistakes and speed off. And I think that's about it for my little rant on playing your best and doing everything you can to play your best and being honest with yourself and maintaining your confidence. Because confidence is a huge part of this game. Usually the guys who are really crushing are the guys who feel good and therefore play good. You don't usually see a sad or depressed person just crushing the game, because they're going to be second guessing all their decisions. They're always going to think that they're making the wrong decisions, and then they might err on the side of just taking the safe route every time instead of the most profitable route. A lot going on. See a flop with this JT. swaggy. Okay, I'm just gonna flat the loose player. Bet the Jack 10 when he checks back. He's not buying it. Well, hope he doesn't have the Queen of Spade. I mean Queen of Club. Queen of Club, Queen of Club. Pretty dry flop. I'm gonna raise. Nice, got it through. And you guys have seen in my other videos that if I recognize that I'm playing bad, I'm out of there. Because I'm trying to build this bankroll up, and I'm not going to do anything that you guys shouldn't do that's going to decrease the chances of the bankroll going the right direction, which is to the up and up. Alright, and we're not playing heads up. Even though the guy's a nit, and we could probably just like try to run him over. Ooh. But Ice Kaboofa. That could be a little fishy fish. Maybe. $8. Not even worth it. Get some games over. Tough decision for these bankroll videos. Because I know that usually for the bankroll challenge I just do like strict hand analysis, so it's fine for me to play like 12 tables total and just have as many hands going as possible. Today I just had a lot on my mind from the session I'd played, and I just really wanted to share my thoughts with you guys because I was pretty unhappy with how I'd played today's session, and I want you guys to know that, everyone makes mistakes, no one's perfect, everyone runs bad at times, but it's how you deal with it. It's whether you accept those mistakes, fix them, and move forward and become stronger, or it's whether you dwell on them and are just not going to move anywhere, not going to make any positive progress. And that applies to all walks of life, not just poker. So normally I would have just done like a 4-tabling video on Betfair if I wanted to speak my mind. But I wanted to try to go with best of both worlds. Sadly, we're running cold, so it's not going to be the best value for the bankroll challenge, but what are you going to do? You know what you're going to do? You're going to get aces and get no action. Alright. Raise. And, some people would be like, well, I've been getting no action on my aces, so maybe I should make it smaller than usual to guarantee that I do get action. Then you're giving your opponents a good chance to draw out on you, and that's not what we want to do. Our theory is the bigger the guy's VPIP, the larger our ISO raise size is going to be. This guy's VPIP's 67. We're going for the full 5x. That's it. And Hazza, you getting fucking stacked, bro. You getting stacked. You giving me the monies. I'm taking them. They belong to me now. You better not have me beat. I will be so tilted. Alright, this board ran out nice. Give me the money, Ace Jack. Give me the money. King Queen. What? Okay. I mean, the guy raised for 5x, which is scary, but he has $6. Not folding jacks against a guy with $6. Now I got 3 of them. Full house. Full house, yeah? Jack Queen. Nice get in. Nice get in. I guess we can drop this table. Bam! Other reason I wanted to do the bankroll challenge today, I really love just playing these small stakes games. It makes me happy to see the retardedness that people do. It's fun. And I 3-bet. I'm going to check call. And it's kind of what I was talking about earlier. I was saying if you want to practice tough spots against like good regulars, go to a limit where it feels like play money. For me, if I could get stacked like 10 times here, like it's all right. I'm gonna be fine. So, what? What are you doing? I'm not fucking folding yet. So weird. So weird. Aces. Aces. Yeah, I knew you didn't have fucking shit. Walk with aces. How many times have I had aces this video? 7? Alright, good value on one of them. That's cool. Did he have 10s? Is that what I just saw? Made no sense. Oh no, I have to click hand history. Okay. One sec. Someone showed me that it's possible to see your opponent's hands when they muck. He had 10s. Shit made no sense. But that's why we check the flop. If we bet the flop, I mean, he might peel with 10s, but that's the only bet we're getting. He's not going to put in another bet. And if we check the flop, we allow him to think that maybe his 10s are good. Why he min-raised the turn, I have no idea. I really have no idea. It makes no sense, especially min. Like, he was trying to rep a strong hand, and I was thinking, if he has anything, it's going to be jacks. But there are a lot more nothing hands than there are pocket jacks in his range, so we had a call, and then, I mean, if I'm him, I'm following through on that river. You're going to rep that shit on the turn, and I would have probably bet my flush draws on the flop, so it's hard for me to have a flush, so he needs to just, like, keep on fucking firing. To raise turn and then just shut down on one of the best rivers for his hand, just 0 cents. But hey, that's 25 NL. Shit don't always add up. I raised the button here with the Jack 5 of club, flop a flush. He's trying to block bet. I'm trying to build a pot. I know this raise is going to look really strong, but I just want to get that money in. It's going to be hard for him to fold to a min raise. And now we just hope he has a king with nothing else. If I just call there, we have like just about a pot size bet on the river, but I can't necessarily count on him to just like ship it all in. And also, I can't necessarily expect him to call a full pot bet, whereas I could expect him to call a half pot bet, which is what we're dealing with right now. So, give me the money, please. Mezzy. Money, please. Yeah, give us the money. What a cooler. And the thing about that hand is if we slow play, let him do his block bet bullshit, and just like call his 50 cents on the flop, or just call his bet on the turn, like we might not get all the money. What if a club comes off? What if the board pairs again? There are a lot of like shitty things that could happen that could kill our action. So when there's a good chance that your opponent has some sort of hand and you have the hand, get the fucking money in the middle. Otherwise you're just wasting mad vowels. I'm going to play one more orbit and I'm going to end this video on a high note. We started out slow, we started out bad, we started out sad, but now we're glad. And Sesh was pretty rad. This is why I did not get into white boy rap. Never would have worked for me. I'm a numbers guy, not a words guy. So, shit wouldn't fly. And I'm going to be fair to you guys. Going forward, I will play 10 tables maximum during the bankroll challenge. Unless I can find like super good tables, because I know you guys want the hand analysis, and when I'm trying to like 12, 15 table, it's just too much clicking, and it's not fair to you guys that you don't get that top quality analysis that you have come to expect from Grip's poker training. So, I'll cut down the number of tables. It may not mean that the action is as fast, but hey, we'll just analyze hands more in depth. And if we don't get in any pots, we'll just analyze our opponent's play. There's plenty of good information to be gained from just sweating the action. So that's what we're going to do. I won't try to go crazy volume. Also, it's funny that all the sessions I was like 4 to 8 tabling, we won, and then the 2 of the 3 sessions where I tried to play a million tables, we lost. Coincidence? I think not. Just checking over my notes to see if there's anything else I wanted to cover. Patience. Gotta have it. Don't rush in. Have a pre-game routine that gets you in the zone, feeling calm and confident. For me, it's brewing a nice pot of tea and just sipping on some nice hot tea while I just cruise through my session. Damn, how did I not uncheck auto post there? Not gonna call with 7s. Know that if you work harder than your opponents, you will have better results than your opponents, but you got to stay on top of the game and be honest with yourself about your strengths and weaknesses and make efforts to eliminate your weaknesses while further improving your strengths. Just putting in volume is not enough. If you really want to be a superstar, you got to put in time studying as well. Because if you keep doing whatever you were doing before, you're going to get the same results. And if you're unhappy with your results, you've got to change something. Spots change, opponents change, players get better, players change their style. You have to pay attention to who's trying new things and not only HUD botting. Sometimes you got to look away from the HUD stats because people are out there getting coaching. Some people are out there watching videos, and when they're first trying to implement the new things they learn, they're probably going to be doing them with like poor frequencies and proper frequencies and actually spewing off and making mistakes. So if you can identify who's trying to like play out of their comfort zone, you can capitalize on that and make some value there. And that's about it. The last one is that just because something worked in the past doesn't mean it's going to work in the present. Games change, people change, you change, so you have to change how you operate. Sick cooler. Just so you guys know, Tuesday's coaching sessions are now going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as opposed to 2 p.m. So that our friends down under can get some free coaching as well. I know you guys have felt left out, and don't think I forgot about you guys. You're getting included. So from now on, Monday and Wednesday is going to be 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Tuesdays and Thursdays are going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Actually, I can't promise Thursday because I might have a class, so maybe I'll do like 5 p.m. or something. What time zone does that help? I don't know. Whatever. Point is, we're gonna start messing with the schedule to try to cater to everybody, and hopefully that's good for you guys. Should we see how we did? Moment of truth. Right now it looks like we lost a lot, but I know that's not true. There we go. Is that the right amount in play? 190? 60-ish, 97-ish, 123-ish, 155-ish, 188-ish. Well, it says 189, so that's probably right. 536, and we started with 762. Well, we lost 1.5 buy-ins. Fucking bullshit. Fuck. It's okay. The knowledge was worth more than $36. What ifs? And I'm like almost halfway to my next bonus, so that's another free 20 bones. Ship it. I wish I had time to play the small stakes multi-table tournaments, because that's definitely the easiest way to turn $100 into 10K. Just fucking play some $5 freezies and $2 rebuys, 10 freezies, and just bink. Another time. Okay, well, at that, I'm going to end it. Please leave me your feedback and comments on the YouTube page. Also, anyone who wants to give me some feedback about the free coaching, please go to Facebook and answer in the poll what kind of coaching you'd most like to see. Whether you want to have both sides of the conversation or just me talking over the students' play, live session versus video or hand history. There's a lot of options, and I want to know what people are most interested in seeing, so we can start, making that part of the training experience better and better and better. And on that note, I'm out. I'm done. Thank you very much for joining me. This has been Evan for Grips.com. Go out there and get stacking. Yeah.